It's time here on Cuse Countdown to play that classic party game, Would You Rather? Now, guys, very simple. I'm going to give you two options. You're going to have to tell me which one you would rather take. And first up, we're going to go with the battle of the point guards. Last year's, now playing for Philadelphia, Michael Carter-Williams, or this year's freshman Tyler Ennis. Bobby, we'll start with you.
Well, Tyler Ennis has an ability to control the pace of the game, something that Michael Carter-Williams couldn't do even on his best days. And Evan, speaking of that March Madness run, in that 11-game stretch, Carter-Williams averaged less points per game and less steals than Ennis has through 8 games this season.
I do like the statistics as well, but for Carter-Williams, I'm going with him, by the way.
We couldn't tell.
Oh, well,
there's your face.
Sorry about that. But Carter-Williams has about 2 assists more than Ennis did, so he's able to dish it more, which is what, in my opinion, a point guard should do. And also, he has the clutch gene factor, for example, that first Louisville game.
Well, Steve, I'm impressed that you're a geneticist. I'd like to see your PhD. I'm going with Tyler Ennis. He's the better offensive player. He might not have the length on defense, but at this point, he's shown far more versatile skill than Carter-Williams did in his time on the Hill. Next up, just compare the whole team. Last year's team that went to the Final Four but had a shaky run in February, or this year's team, which is ranked 4th in the country so far.
Yeah, last year's squad, despite an impressive finish, was rocky for most of the season, whereas this year's squad, which is supposed to be younger and experienced and figured themselves out to this point, especially against the quality of competition they played in Maui and then in the Big Ten Challenge against Indiana, has fared much better, and I'm more impressed with the versatility this season.
How can you not be impressed with the Final Four appearance? I'm going with last year's team. Just look at Brandon Trish. He's pumped up. That senior leadership between him and Sutherland, that was key. It's only really C.J. Fair, who's the senior now, and going into ACC play, we don't know how that's going to work out.
Bikey is a senior as well.
You know what, Steve, though? I'll say this. Last year's team had 2 legitimate scorers in Fair and Sutherland. This year, Fair, Grant, Cooney, Ennis. Give me this year's team over last year's. Bold statements from Bobby and I so far. All right, last up, battle of the centers. Who would you rather see starting at the 5? Rakeem Christmas or Bai Musa Keita?
With no disrespect to Mr. Keita, I think Rakeem Christmas is better suited for the starting role. Keita, a player who brings you energy off the bench, runs the floor, gets rebounds. Christmas, much better suited to mesh with this year's starters.
Even though it is Christmas season, Bobby, I don't have the holiday cheer for Rakeem. Give me Bai Musa Keita in this one. Like you said, his energy level, even if it is off the bench, it should be in the starting lineup. That energy is just incomprehensible, and those are the things that just makes the team that much better. He should be starting. He should be getting the more minutes.
Let it not be said that I'm a Grinch. I'm going with Rakeem Christmas. He's the more talented player. He's the better defensive player. I like his input out on the floor. That's it for Would You Rather. Steve went 0-3 on my picks.